Good evening. Today is July 1st, 2022, and I just want to give my insights insofar as today's date. July 1st, 2022. So July 1st, 2022 is historical in our country because this is the beginning of a new presidency, and for the next 6 years we will have a new president with all the new cabinets and all that. So you can just imagine that whatever in the past under the President Duterte's administration would be basically different now that we have the new president as well as the cabinet members. Of course, the cabinet members are not yet complete. We still don't have a Secretary of Health, and a lot about four of the. But we have the Department of Education under Sara Duterte. We have the Finance under Secretary Jokno, and all the others. So basically, the one that is missing to me is the Secretary of Health, which is a very good, a very important concern for this particular administration. So if you would ask me, what are the key concerns of the current administration? So my take is, number one is of course economy. So important there will be Secretary Medalla, Secretary Jokno, and of course the NEDA Secretary. And then another is health, because of the pandemic, because we're still in the pandemic, so we need someone who is an expert in handling all this. And along with this is of course, if we could touch also in PhilHealth, although that's an independent body, but corruption in PhilHealth and all that, so ang daming mga issues doon. So that would be another concern for me. Of course, it's a foreign policy, foreign department is very important, although he appointed a tenured diplomat, and as such I would like to pin hopes on him. And then why is it important? Because it's important that we know we have a very good diplomatic relations outside of the country, like primarily like the big giants like China, US, Japan, and all that. So why is it important? Well, of course, China is, there's a growing concern for China as attachment, because of the supposedly intrusion of the territorial waters of the Philippines. And in the process, during the Duterte administration, we even, shall I say, disregarded the Hague arbitration decision, and effectively saying that we allowed China to come into the Philippines. And that's actually one of my worries, because we know that, and everybody is aware that the current President Marcos, is a very supportive of China. In fact, if you don't know, he made frequent visits in China, and there was even a consulate in Lawag of the Chinese embassy. So you can just imagine his support for China, and that worries me, because that might mean additional islands being taken away from us. And I'm very, very sorry for all the other islands, the West Philippine Sea, and all the built up islands there. And it's very alarming, actually. And the ones that are in danger, of course, is Palawan and the Kalayaan area and all that. So that's actually because this area is rich in all the resources. And of course, with the implementation of the 9-dash line of the China, then they would always have the interest in this particular part of the Philippines. As I have told in the other blogs, China is very interested in us because of the location of the Philippines. If you would see, we are on the Pacific, and the trade is actually passing through our country. So in that case, that's a concern for me. And of course, it's very a concern for me also is our how strong is our tie with the United States, because United States is also one of the superpowers, and the United States is a second in trade in terms of trade relations in the Philippines. So number one is Japan, and number two is the United States. So you can just imagine. So we should have a stronger. I was hoping even that President Biden would attend the inauguration, because he was invited by President Marcos on his inauguration. So what we are saying is, it's really a concern for me for our economic policy and our diplomatic relations. So it's important that we have good diplomatic relations, because it's a global world right now, so it's very important that there will be shall I say, confidence in the investment opportunities here, that we have good relations, that we have good image abroad. It's very important that we have that, no, because sometimes people are even asking, where is the Philippines? Whenever I go abroad, they would ask, the Philippines, Manny Pacquiao. So in short, we should be remembered than that, because we are greater than what they perceive of us, and we are a very strong. We're supposed to be a very strong nation with the lingua franca, with English as our lingua franca and all that. So it's really very important that we affirm that we are a good nation. So another is education. Of course, I agree that education should be a primary consideration or primary department as well. But with Sara Duterte there, he's a lawyer, and I know that. So I think she is capable to handle that. I'm just concerned that please don't rewrite the history, or if at all, write the true history of I'm a very avid supporter of history, and as such, I would like it to be written well, as it happened. And don't forget about the Desaparecidos, don't forget about what happened in martial law, don't forget about what happened during the Aquino administration, the Duterte administration, and all that. So that's a concern for me. And then I was not happy, not to say this, but I'm very sad that Secretary, sino yun, yung sa transportation, was replaced, because he's a very, very good secretary, but he was replaced. And I hope that the new secretary, the incoming secretary, would do it better than him. But I really admire Secretary Tugale. Okay, so Secretary Tugale. So anyway, and of course the other for me is economy, really, because of course labor for the concerns of the migrant workers, because really the OFWs, sobrang dami na nilang reklamo tungkol sa atin despite the fact that our economy is being buoyed by the inward remittances of the OFWs, and what their sacrifice is really not even a worth of what they do, just so that they would earn more money abroad. They are really the superheroes, and yet their concerns are not addressed, like ano ang gagawin nila pag wala na silang trabaho, like anong benepisyo nila pag sila ay nawala ng trabaho, pag sila ay walang sakay sa barko, ano bang nagagawa, ano bang mga meron sila, wala, di ba? So yung mga ganon, yun yung mga concern sa akin. And of course, it's really the Department of Health. Especially, ngayon ko lang nararamdaman kasi matanda na ako. So in short, napapansin mo na rin na paano nga kung wala akong health plan sa opisina. Paano, di ba? I will spend every peso and all that. So it's very disheartening, because the state should provide for the welfare of the citizens. So in short, dapat kahit paano, so I hope that modernization of hospitals will come, and more support to key hospitals, and across the Philippines, hindi lang dito sa Manila, because it's the modernity of is sometimes focused in Manila, and there are really so many violations in so far as health Department of Health policies are concerned. So anyway, dami kong sinasabi. But anyway, what I am saying is, I hope that, right now the peso is 54.9932, and then the stock market is 6,165. So in short, bumaba pa siya. Of course, there are other concerns like the nuclear, but like the war in Ukraine, and the market in general, the shortage of this and that. There are even shortage of potatoes and all that. So ang daming shortage. So another pala key department should be agriculture, of which the president himself has appointed himself as the head of Department of Agriculture, because alam mo, ang pillars talaga ng economy, one is agriculture. Napapabayaan na yan talaga, as in number one is walang masyadong subsidy, number two is wala nang gustong magtanim, sa Banawe pumunta ka, yung mga ibang dating rice terraces doon, may mga built-in infrastructures na. So sa Cavite wala nang taniman, nandoon na lahat yung mga subdivisions and all that. So in short, agriculture is being and there is no food sufficiency program, and as such buti nga natuto yung mga tao ng planting plantitos, plantitas, and all that. Because really, it should be the basics that we eat that should be a basic concern for all of us. Because importing this could mean cost for all of us. And with this, with the high peso exchange rate, then paano tayo makakabili ng marami, di ba? So yun yung inaano ko na sana, yung the key really is agriculture. I mean, you should have rice sufficiency program, coconut industry should be supported, you know, and all the other key industries. The palay should be kahit papaano wag masyadong mahal ang abono and all that. So maraming pwedeng gawin pa sa agriculture. And you know, even the animal industry is really something that we should take focus on. Magkano ba ang kilo ngayon ng meat and all that, di ba? Hindi nilang bawal sa amin. But even then, you know, fisheries, you know, di ba, under agriculture din yan. Just kung magkano ang kilo ng isda ngayon. So all of these are really, you know, the key. Marami actually minana si President Marcos